Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. Well, today we're actually going to work on the animation on one button. From there, the next video actually will be on the rest of the buttons. But I want to explain first how you animate buttons before we could go move on to the rest of the buttons. Okay, let's begin. Okay guys, so let's begin with the animation of the buttons. Okay, so as you can see right now, I'm in my game view. You can see all our buttons. All your buttons are going to be in canvas. Just in case your canvas is closed, remember, just go to the arrow, press it, and you'll see all your buttons. Select the very first button. From there, in the button, let's go to the transition. In the transition, change it to animation, and in animation, auto generation. Okay, once you auto generate, it's going to ask you where you want to save. Make sure it's in the infinite folder and the assets. Okay, once you save it, it's going to be saved there from now on. Okay, once you're done saving it, the system knows you're about to add an animation to the button. So you go to Windows, go to Animations, and then go to Animations or Control 6. Either one works. Okay, from there you'll have another window that pops up with this is the animator where you're gonna edit and see how the animation works. So from there, add a property, React, transform, and to scale, add the scale. Okay, once it's there, you need part of the animator to show up. So right now, as you see, it's small. We need the time frame to show up. I have to make it big, but I could just click on the side and drag it so I can see the timeline. Okay, for the animation to start working, you're gonna have to press record. Okay, once you press record, so any motion you do, it's gonna start recording it and save it. Okay, to the buttons. As you can see the buttons, you must see your buttons on top and you must see your animator at the bottom. Okay, you could zoom in and out. This is not even a second. Remember, this is 0.00. This is where your first animation is gonna be. Then 0.001 and stuff like that. Okay, for that to happen, we have to animate the button first. Okay, whichever button, this works for any of these buttons. Yes, make sure the scale is run. The very first, it's always when you animate, you're always going to have a set point, a starting point, and an ending point for every single one of your buttons. Okay, you are going to have to go to screen. Okay, why? Because once you select the animator, once you start recording, I'm sorry, you will be able to set the size and the scale of the animation button. For you to set the scale, remember you have to change the needle of the time frame to 0.001 and then move the scale of your button. See, as I moved it to the top, I will move it. You cannot just click and drag the needle, I'm sorry. You have to actually click the time where you want it. So from there, you just select which scale, if you want it bigger, taller, or just all at once. Once you're done, it sets another point for it. Okay, once the point is set, that means that's how it's gonna look at that point of time. Okay, so right now I do have 4 points. Okay, the other one you can't see it. It's exactly at 1 second. I have to zoom out. I do have to zoom out so I could see the other point. You could put as many points as you want, and every single 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the second. You can move your starting point. You can move the ending point and stuff like that. Okay, you could also delete it, flatten it, do anything to it as well if you right click. From there, you could always press play and you will see how the animator works. Okay, and as you could drag the needle across, you would see how your animation button looks. As you can see, it's changing sizes as I'm dragging it across. Okay, from there I zoom out and then I see my 3 points. Okay, and if I start zooming out, I do see my endpoints over here at the 1 second. So right now my three points are very close to each other and my endpoint is far away. So I'm going to take my second point and my third point and I'm just going to move them to wherever I like. You could either put them in the middle or you could put them in 20, 40. It's up to you. It's going to be up to you. If you have more than 3 points, 4 points, I'm sorry, you could put each one in every single second. If I were to press play, this is how it's going to look and it's just going to keep looping and that's how your animation is going to look. So every second it's just going to get bigger and smaller, okay? If you're not satisfied with that, you could always move the points of every single one from the start point to the end point. Okay, so to me that was a little bit slower. So what I actually am gonna do, I'm gonna move my middle points actually to 10 and the other one to 20 and the end point I'm gonna move to 30. So it's gonna look a little bit faster. And then I press play As you can see, it's just moving faster. Okay, I press, I pause it, and then for me to see in the main frame, I just all I have to do is press play. But as I could see right here, it's still moving. Okay, move my needle. That looks good. It's looking good. That's what I like. You could always put many points. And I press play. Once I'm in the game, you could see the music going, everybody's dancing, and my button moving, my button pulsing. Okay, for it to pulse, what we want it to do, we don't want it to pulse once it starts. We want it to pulse, actually to move, to animate once we click on it. Okay, for that to happen, I'm gonna move my animator down so I can start looking at my view and go on top to animator. As I am on the top of the animator, it does create a new animation parameters for us. It creates it automatically, so you don't have to worry about creating it. In that animator, in the in that animator, I'm sorry, you would see normal, highlighted, pressed. I'm sorry, I can't press, and other buttons as well. You could see the layers here and the parameters right here. Now you could see them completely, how you see it's pressed, selected, and disabled. So you could always turn them on and off here, or you could just delete them, whatever you're gonna need. So since we do want it to select, we're gonna have to switch a few of them. We're gonna have to delete highlight. I'm gonna delete highlight completely. Since I deleted from the parameters, it didn't delete from the layers. So I am gonna have to right click as well and delete it. So now it's actually gone. Now I just move my things, make them look a little bit better. And as you can see, normal is very too close. So I just move it on the side from there and make it where I can still work from it. Okay. As you can see, the layers are fine now. The parameters is good. So now I only have 4. Pretty soon I will delete another one. But let's start working on the 2 buttons on pressed and normal. We're gonna have to switch those two, normal and press. So what I'm gonna do, actually, first I'm gonna have to select actually the arrow. Okay, the arrow for it to, so I can make those changes. Once I select that arrow, you would see the screen change in the inspector. In the screen, you would see the settings. We have to select the settings first to change a setting. In that setting, there is a check mark where it says fix orientation. Uncheck it. Make sure you have to uncheck it. Once you uncheck it, we have to scroll down. Let me move the animator. Scroll down and it says normal. So this button is normal. No, I don't want it normal. I need this button to switch to pressed. Okay, once I switch it to pressed, this button becomes a pressed button instead of a normal button. Okay, so what does that mean? I have to do the same thing to press button, and I don't have to worry about the fixed rotation. I just have to turn it into normal. So by doing that, I already switched both of them. Even though it says press and normal, it doesn't matter. I already gave it different commands, and that's the way it's gonna be. Okay, once I'm done doing that, make sure you start saving your work. Every single time you do something change, a big change, guys, make sure you save your work. Okay, save your work, Control S. Okay, once you saved it, once you save it, select delete, select it, delete it, and make sure you do delete it from the layers. Delete selected. So I go all the way down and I delete it. So all I need is just these 3 commands. That's all I need. Make sure I save it again. I did a change. I saved it. It's ready to go. So as you could see now, my button is not moving. It's not moving until I press it. Now it starts moving. If I press somewhere else, it's gonna stop moving. Okay. So for it to stop moving, either I pause the game or I just select another button and it'll stop moving. Hey guys, well, it's just that easy to animate one button. In the next video, we will animate the rest of the buttons. We'll use different type of scales. Like instead of just pulsing, we could actually rotate them, do different stuff. Besides that, if you have any questions, anything, send me a message. If not, stay safe and see you guys next time.